Brighton could be set for big improvement in 2021, and here is why Graham Potter's side might be able to change their fortunes in the Premier League. When Graham Potter joined Brighton in 2019, we knew there was going to be a change in the style of play. His style was proven at Östersund and Swansea City, a possession game looking to play on the front foot, very dynamic with the setup of players on the pitch. His first season with Brighton saw them finish 15th in the league, 5 points more than the previous season with Chris Hughton. Currently in the league, Brighton sit 15th with 25 points after 23 games. In comparison to last season after 23 games, they had 26 points, so not much difference. However, instead of 11 losses like they had last season, they're currently on 5 wins, 10 draws and 8 losses. That's the most draws in the Premier League this season. They've not had as many losses this season, but they've not quite been able to convert them into wins. But they're so close, progression has been made, and here is how. It's the Transcreation where we've seen an improvement in Brighton's play. Being direct with their passing, it's led to them getting into dangerous areas more often. They've been successful in the wide areas with crossing the ball, and they've completed 65 crosses into the penalty area, which is the most in the Premier League. In general, they've completed 220 passes into the penalty area, which is the 5th most, and these crosses are coming from Solly March, who predominantly plays left wing back, as well as Trossard, Gross, Veltman and Lamptey. This shows us that Brighton are being able to create chances, with many of them coming from the wide areas. The goals against Tottenham and Leeds were quite similar and showed us how they've worked well in the half spaces. Pascal Gross has the ball on the right side of the pitch and passes to Alexis McAllister. From this, Gross instantly makes a run in the space behind the Tottenham defence. As Højbjerg presses McAllister, it means the pass is free to Gross as he runs in behind. A quick move saw Gross in the box, centre it to Trossard, who was able to finish easily. And the goal against Leeds United was in a similar fashion. Brighton quickly played from the back with some nice passing, which meant Ben White could strive forward into free space. McAllister receives the ball and carries it further towards the box as he looks for someone to link up with. From the edge of the box, he plays a 1-2 pass with Trossard, which then saw him get into the box and allowed him to play the final pass. And the final pass was putting it right across the goal line to find Neal Maupay at the back, who couldn't miss an open net. 2 examples of goals which were scored very recently, and they showed quick passing, great off the ball movement and utilising space effectively. Just before we move on, if you could please like the video, it's very much appreciated. It helps supporting the channel and the videos in getting found. There is something this season very interesting with Brighton in the way that they're winning games and how they're not winning. We've seen since Graham Potter has arrived, Brighton having more of the ball. Last season they averaged 52.2% possession, which was the 7th most, and this season too they've had 13 matches with 50% possession or more, with 10 matches being below that number. Looking into these matches, we can see that Brighton have been a lot more successful with less of the ball. In the matches with 50% or more, they were able to get 10 points from an available 39. On the other hand, with less than 50%, they got 15 points from 30, winning 4, drawing 3 and losing 3. To back this up more, 12 matches they've had more than 600 touches and not won any of the 12. Whereas the 11 matches with less than 600 touches is where they found all their wins this season, 5 of them. Another difference in the last 5 games is the amount of long balls being played from the centre-backs. Brighton this season have played the 5th most accurate long balls with 649, and outfield they're mostly coming from the defenders. In particular from Lewis Dunk, his last 6 matches have seen him complete only 43 passes longer than 30 yards, whereas in the 6 matches before that he completed 123, a huge difference in a small period of time. In their 2 matches against Fulham, we can see how the centre-backs have changed their influence on the game. The first fixture on December the 16th at Craven Cottage saw Webster and White top the list for most passes, with 389 passes overall, 150 in the attacking third and 19 in the penalty area. They met again on January 27th. Gross, Bissouma and Veltman had the most passes, 315 for Brighton, with 201 in the attacking third and 38 in the penalty area. They had exactly double the amount of passes in the opposition penalty area, which led to 7 more shots being taken in the 2 matches. Although, even with this being said, both games were 0-0, Brighton's expected goals for the second game was 2.1, showing that all that was lacking for Brighton in that second game was a bit of quality in front of goal. The reliance on Neal Maupay for the goals since he signed has been clear, with 10 goals last season making him the top goal scorer and 7 this season, also the most for the team. It shows his importance to Brighton in putting these chances away, but even with him being the top goal scorer, his impact should be even higher. His expected goals excluding penalties stands at 6.4, however he's only been able to score 4 goals from open play, so a number less than what his expected goals suggest for the quality of chances that he's had. In terms of defending though, Brighton have recently had a sudden change in their defensive record, with 4 Premier League clean sheets in a row against Leeds, Fulham, Tottenham and Liverpool, followed by the 1 goal let in against Burnley. And maybe this has been coming the whole season if Brighton have had a huge improvement in numbers throughout the campaign. Last season averaging 20.6 shot creating actions against them, however this season that has been able to drop to 13.9. The improvement in their performances is clear to see in the stats, so how do Brighton make sure that they keep moving in the right direction? It's obvious that scoring goals and having players who can consistently help with scoring more is what's needed. You need the goal scoring instinct from someone else on the pitch, like West Ham have added with Soucek. The midfield could be a position where Brighton look to add another player who can contribute to this. For example, Basuma has had the 3rd most shots for Brighton with 22, but with that being said, only 2 of them have been on target, 18 of them outside the box. He did score one, a fantastic finish against Everton. He's a great central midfielder, but more defensive than attacking. Brighton last season were 15th in the league, and with the past few results, they could be looking to improve on that. The many games they've drawn where they were so close to winning, they've changed that recently with defensive improvement. It means that a team which was underachieving is now getting results that reflect the performances they've been putting in. So how high can Brighton look to finish? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.